So if there is a perceived bias, but you are the only one available to investigate a concern, how would you recommend navigating that? And as the investigator, I'm confident I could provide objective support, but I'm more concerned with perceived bias.
And that's a fair concern because, again, going back to the case law, and there's a number of cases, but the one I'll reference is Bell Mobility and Pires Ferreira. What the court said is that there are important rights at stake in an interview or during a workplace investigation. And at the end of that process, it's possible that someone is going to lose their job. If the respondent did the things that are alleged, it's possible that one of the outcomes is that person loses their job. So given the high stakes that are involved, you as an employer, you're implementing a process that is free of actual bias, but also free from the perception of bias. And certainly if you've identified from the outset that, look, that there is a real question here. It's not somebody just kind of blindly throwing out, look, that there could be bias here. You identify that there is a real issue here in terms of that perception that this individual is not getting a fair shake. Then it's wise to bring in an external third party to conduct that investigation, because ultimately, as the employer, you don't want the investigation to be tainted by the perception of bias. You want to get to the heart of the matter. You want to understand what happened, and you then want to make a decision to address the situation and then move on. So the last thing you need is to conduct an investigation, spend all of that time and energy, then have the investigation be questioned because there's the perception of bias, and then where does that leave you? Right? You then have to bring in an external third party anyway to fix the situation and arrive at a conclusion that the parties can live with, or one that at least is that can stand up in court. So I would say if you identify that as an issue from the outset, even though you have the expertise and the capability to do it, it's going to save you time and money and help advance your goals if you just bring in a third party.